We are coming to you from Comerica Park in Detroit, where this afternoon, WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frasier, Brett Laurie, Jose Abreu in our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, and the Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set, hopefully, to bring you this ball game this afternoon. Tarp is still on the field, and there's a good chance, according to the forecast, that it might be there until after 4 o'clock. But if and when we do get this game started, we'll be trying to salvage the finale of this three-game set. They won the opener 10-3. Bullpen gave up a lot of runs. Then they won last night 7-4. Bullpen gave up some more runs. But this afternoon, it'll be Quintana against Verlander.
Pretty good matchup because there's no doubt that Jose Quintana should have a better record than 5-5, and Justin Verlander's got an ERA up over 4, so he's pretty happy at 4-5. Last time out, both pitchers were pretty good. Quintana keeps throwing the ball exceptionally well and doesn't get a whole lot to show for it. One of the best pitchers in baseball is merely a 500 pitcher record-wise. Justin Verlander doesn't have the big fastball any longer. Usually he pitches comfortably at 92, 93, can occasionally get it up a little bit higher, but that's very occasionally these days, and he's added a cutter to his repertoire. So when you take a look at their head-to-head matchups against their respective teams, Verlander, 36 starts against our Sox, 18-13. Quintana, 13 starts against their Tigers, 4-3. The ERA is very close to 4. Should be a good matchup, and if Jose continues to throw the ball well, eventually you would think he's going to be rewarded.
All right, the question is, and you at home think about it as well, 23-10 start. In the last 23, 6-17. Which one of those things identifies our club the most?
I don't believe that this team is as good as they started. I don't believe they're near as bad as it's looked lately. And so we'll look at the reasons why the starts and where we are now has happened. See the batting average very similar. The runs per game very similar. The home runs quite obviously down, but the big factor is the ERA. It was great early, not so great the last 23. The bullpen was unbelievable early and not so much the last 23. That's the difference in the record. Hopefully they can put both of those to rest, find somewhere comfortable in the middle, because this is going to be a very close division. We've seen it early. We're going to see it all year long, and not much is going to separate these teams. So the Sox have got to pick it up, especially on the offense.
Well, I agree that we're somewhere in between those two marks right there. But we're trying to avoid the first sweep here since 2013. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. By Honda, start something special with a great deal on a Honda, now at your Honda dealer. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Ford, America's best-selling brand 6 years running, inviting you to check out our fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Welcome back to Comerica Park. Yesterday, the Major League debut of Jason Coates. And it started out okay, although he didn't have an official at-bat in his first 2 at-bats. And then, unfortunately, things did not work out particularly well in the outfield. This drive to left center field, and J.B. Shuck coming over. Coates moving over, and a nasty collision. JB is out of the lineup with a sore shoulder today, and Jason Coates had some stitches in his lip. Not the greatest way to emerge into the major leagues, but a little shaken up nonetheless. He's in the 2 spot today, back in the lineup. He's a tough guy looking for his first major league hit, and hopefully against Justin Verlander that will come true this afternoon. Stay with us because we'll have today's lineup in the first pitch right after these messages. The Detroit Tigers gave out the Willie Horton African American Legacy Award, and there was a beautiful ceremony on the field. This year it was awarded to Chet Lemon, who spent a great deal of time with the White Sox and an even longer amount of time with the Detroit Tigers. He had 3 great years with the Sox where he hit over 300 each and every one of those years. Terrific center fielder with the Sox and an even better human being, and a beautiful ceremony. Couldn't have gone to a better guy, and there is Willie Horton down to present that plaque with some wonderful words to Chet Lemon, who's just about as good as it gets as a human being and was a terrific ball player during his time. So stay with us because we'll be back with baseball after these messages. A sun-splashed afternoon for the moment, but there are some storms in the area, expecting them a little bit later on. Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So the Sox come into this one 2 games in back of Cleveland, 1.5 games in back of Kansas City, and with Detroit, 1.5 games back of our Sox, currently occupying 4th place. Tigers come in at 27-28. Sox come in at 29-27. As the division has begun to bunch up, Cleveland has won 4 games in a row, and there's what it looks like. The Royals with a whole lot of injuries to get over. Cleveland just getting their star pitcher back, Carlos Carrasco. However, Michael Brantley is still injured and not able to play for the Indians. Our Sox missing Melky Cabrera for 3 games. He is gone on a family emergency leave. He will be ready to go when the Sox return home and pick up baseball on Tuesday against the Washington Nationals. As far as Detroit is concerned, it's a team that can really hit the baseball. They've got 5 guys in their starting lineup that have 30 or more runs driven in. There you look at Brad Ausmus. He's in his 3rd year as a skipper of the Tigers. He did very well his first year. Last year, not quite as good as he would have expected. A lot of heat on him here, but he seems to be handling it well. I talked with him before this series started, and he said, look, we're not getting what we want to out of either our bullpen or the starting rotation, but he said the defense has been okay. He said we believe that the rotation is going to get a bit better, and he's really hoping to solidify that bullpen, especially now with Green back and being a pensman instead of a starting pitcher. They believe that Shane Green is going to be the answer, at least for the moment, for that pen. As far as the Sox are concerned, as you know, or maybe you don't know, James Shields was brought over from San Diego yesterday as Robin in his 5th year with our Sox, talking with Herm Schneider, who's been way too busy lately. Seems like there's been a few nagging injuries, some not so nagging injuries, but a lot of guys going down. And Herm and his staff have done a great job of getting him back on the field as quickly as possible. But there is no doubt that injuries can derail any ball club at any time. You just have to hope that the mainstays on your team stay healthy. And speaking of staying healthy, there is Jason Coates, who in his major league debut yesterday barely started off. It was a bit unusual in that he drew a base on balls the first time. That's not unusual. He got hit the second time. Again, not too unusual, but 2 at-bats, no official at-bats. Then he popped one up, and unfortunately, then he got in a very nasty collision with J.B. Shuck. The result is that although it appeared at the time that Coates got the worst of it, he picked up some stitches in his lip. He is back in the lineup today. On the other side of the collision, J.B. Shuck is not in the lineup today. Might be available, but that's somewhat sketchy at this point. He does have a sore shoulder, and that was during the collision. So the Tigers take the field behind their ace, Justin Verlander, who is not what he once was, but he has to be good enough to keep this Tiger team in contention as he goes out to the mound, hands a little youngster the baseball, and let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox. Adam Eaton to lead it off, and then it's Jason Coates in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu against the Tigers has been very good in 38 games. He's sitting in the 3 spot. Then it's Todd Frasier. Brett Lawrie, Aposeo Garcia against his former mates. Jimmy Rollins, the designated hitter today. Alex Avila playing in front of his father, the general manager of these Tigers, Al Avila, and Tyler Saladino at shortstop and hitting 9th. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Justin Verlander. Justin Upton, who took yesterday off, back in the lineup in left field, and it's Cameron Maybin and J.D. Martinez. And Nick Castellanos at third. Jose Iglesias, who made some terrific plays yesterday, with Ian Kinsler at second, Miguel Cabrera at first. James McCann has had a good series after making an adjustment to his batting style. He's behind the plate, and Justin Verlander on the hill. He's making his 12th start. He's 4-5. His ERA a touch over 4. 1 complete game. Batting average against .218. That's actually pretty good for a guy that isn't throwing near as hard as he once did, but he's added a cutter to his repertoire. That's really helped him. He also still throws that curveball, but he depends now, instead of on the big curve and the fastball, he's depending a lot more on a slider. That's one of the changes he's made to the aging process. Let's take a look at the umpires and how they're going to line them up today. Paul Nart behind the plate. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, is at first. John Tempane is at second, and Alan Porter is at third. So on a day where the sun is playing peekaboo with the clouds, right now it's a good-looking day. Nice temperatures. Very nice day for baseball. The wind is blowing toward the left field corner as the fans get settled for the third and final game of this series. It's the final game of the homestand for the Sox, and they're going to be a happy ball club to get home. So they throw the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WGN. So glad you could join us for the finale of this 3-game set and this road trip. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as first pitch of the ball game. Adam Eaton. Adam comes in hitting it 275, 3 homers, 18 knocked in. Fouls that one away, and very quickly the count 0-2.
2 pitches, 2 high fastballs.
Sox hitting at 244 as a club with a 3.58 team ERA. And there's a chopper. Forecast was not good prior to the game. It was supposed to have started to rain around 12 o'clock and last till 4, somewhere around between 3 and 4. And the radar really didn't look great, but it didn't look that bad. So it'll be intermittent clouds probably throughout the day. That's out of play. And here at Comerica Park, 345 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line, 365 in right center, 370 in left center, and 420 dead away center. I don't know what the delay was to start, but good job on that fill.
Thanks. It was a few extra minutes because of the ceremony and Kids Day and all of those things.
That's up high.
So far we haven't seen the good Verlander slider. He's thrown everything up and away from Adam, hoping he'll lift that fly ball to left field.
And the 1-2 pitch. And this has become very commonplace this year for Adam. Lengthy at bats.
You love the fact that it's at the very least going to be a 7-pitch at bat.
And it's got to help the guy on deck as well. Certainly it should be helping those guys in the dugout. Little shank, and that's out number 1. So right now, let's check out our picks to click this afternoon. Command Joe and the crew. Well, they went with Alex Avila. Steve is going with Adam Eaton. And Todd Frasier and I. Todd talked it over before the game. We're going to go with the man at the play right now, Jason Coates. Trying to think last evening on the way back to the hotel if I've ever seen a guy break in, walk his first at bat, and get drilled his second at bat. I couldn't come up with anybody. I've seen a lot of guys walk, or I've seen a lot of guys get hit in their first at bat, but never the 2 in the first 2 at bats. And then all of a sudden have one heck of a collision.
There you look at the numbers at Charlotte, and he was awfully good.
Well, he's leading that league in hitting, 335. He had 7 homers, 24 knocked in. Outfield straight up, spread out, about equidistant. If you missed that game yesterday, here's that collision. This is a good one. Had some stitches put in his inner lower lip as he strikes out. 2 down.
What Verlander's doing a lot more of is something that Jose Quintana has been doing the last few years, and that is he wants to go up and out of the strike zone with a fastball that's less than overwhelming. That fastball, 92, 93. Now, he can still reach back, but it's just occasionally he can get 95 or 6. But he wants to use that higher than high fastball, and he throws it by a whole lot of people.
His first pitch strike to Abreu. 4 for 8 in the series. Hitting at .251, 6 homers, 29 knocked in.
Some pretty nice numbers against Verlander over the course of his career. Of course, he's liked to hit against all Tiger pitchers.
His first year, he just absolutely ate up Cy Young Award winners. That ball's hit deep. Stretch. He's back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. They bomb over that center field wall.
He did that to Verlander. In fact, the first 2 times he faced him, he hit a home run each time. And this time, it's 420 to center field. We talked yesterday about the fact that if Jose stops swinging at fastballs inside off the plate, eventually they're going to have to go out away from him. And take a look where this one was. It is out away. It's a high fastball, and Jose just reaches up and shows you how much power he's got as Maben runs out of room. 7 and 30 on the power numbers.
Well, if you want the ball away from you, you don't. Better way to frame it is if you don't want them coming inside on you, you got to back off the plate, make them go away.
Well, you can just lay off. I mean, it's one thing with 2 strikes. He was swinging at pitches inside off the plate early in the count, and that's something that certainly helped the hitters out.
Well, the thing about hitting, Steve, is that the worst feeling you can have is going to the plate and you got to worry about something inside.
Yeah.
That's the worst feeling you can have. Conversely, the best feeling you have when you can go to that plate, don't have to worry about anything inside and look for the ball out over the plate. That's when you can do some damage as tied. And you can help that by positioning in the box. I mean, they're what, for the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, the book was hard high and slow low on him.
Bury him inside, which is what they were doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously if he lays off that, he's going to hit. The book says that he's a terrific hitter. Nothing has changed in that book to this point. He's not off to a great start. It's the 3rd of the season. He's got a long way to go and a world of talent to get back to the numbers that you'd expect he's going to get back to.
Well, we talked about it last night. Just leave him alone. He'll figure it out. Everybody converging, and nobody's going to make the play like Justin had a shot at. But when you get a guy like that, only 1 or 2 players in Major League history to do what he did his first 2 seasons. You don't want any swing changes. You don't want any mechanical thoughts. Just let him alone. He'll figure it out.
Well, he showed signs here the last 2 days that he was starting to figure it out. So it's not surprising against a guy that he's hit well. Then he comes out and Verlander surrenders his 9th home run of the year.
Well, starting out on this trip, final 2 games at home. What do you have? 3 hits in each game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was.
So
well,
you thought
he hadn't had 1 3-hit game all year, and waits 1 day to get his 2nd 3-hit game after that 2nd last game of the road trip, or the homestand.
2 out and a 2-2 count. But the home run by Abreu is 1-0 good guys.
line up his Tigers for the game this afternoon. Ian Kinsler leads it off. Then it's Cameron Maybin, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez hitting back-to-back with Nick Castellanos, Justin Upton, James McCann, and Jose Iglesias. And as you can see, J.D. has had a whale of a series. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Jose Quintana. It's Coates, Eaton, and Garcia in the outfield with Todd Frazier, Tyler Saladino, Brett Laurie, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Alex Avila is going to get his start behind the plate, and Jose Quintana looking for his 6th win. His ERA, a league-leading 2.13. His record 5-5. They don't seem to go hand in hand. Opponents hitting just 2.28. And as the Boston Red Sox manager John Farrell said, for the last 3 years, the single most underrated pitcher in all of baseball is the man you're looking at, Jose Quintana.
So here's Kinsler. He's had good success against Jose. 10 for 33. He comes in hitting at .313, 11 homers, and he's driven in 32. Good numbers, big numbers for a leadoff hitter. He's 2 for 9 with a couple of RBIs in this series.
One of the things they haven't done with Kinsler is allow him to hit many first pitches, which is something normally he loves to do.
So there's the leadoff single.
Kinsler takes a low fastball on the outer third. Drives it into center field. There's some guys on this Tiger team that have very robust numbers against Jose Quintana.
So here's Maybin. Got 4 for 9 in the series, and all 4 very soft singles. First time Quintana has had a lead in a ball game when he started the bottom of the first inning.
Well, the numbers of these guys at the top against him, not going to be easy to keep it very long.
Well, he's 4-3 against the Tigers lifetime, with a very respectable against this ball club 4.02 ERA.
That part of it has been really good. And then you look at the numbers of Victor Martinez, 433, Iglesias 364, Castellanos 348, Cabrera 364. Big numbers.
Yep.
And the one guy who's hit him very well is not playing today, and that's good. Mike Aviles, 385 against Jose.
One and two. And heading for cover as it starts to rain. It's going to be like this probably, as we mentioned, in and out all afternoon long. The 2-2.
Well, you've got Kinsler now talking with Omar Vizquel at first base. Kinsler's their best base stealer. We'll see if they believe that Maybin is going to make some contact. If they do, they'll probably run with Kinsler even ahead of Cabrera.
All right. Back him up. 2 down.
They decided not to run, and stationary Kinsler then becomes a very easy front end of a double play.
Conversation going on with home plate umpire Paul Nauer. So here is Cabrera, 2 for 8 in the series with a couple of RBIs. That ball into deep left center field, but we got a man there. Coach was definitely peeling off right there.
He wasn't going to run into him again.
After 1-1-0, good guys. Watch this one.
He figures, yeah, 2 in 2 days would be a bit much and doesn't want to put Adam Eaton out of action, so he gives way.
Well, he's a little bigger than Adam.
Yes, sir.
That's that old saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Brett Laurie takes strike 1. Brett hitting at .251. 1 for 7 in the series and 1 for 2 lifetime off Verlander with a home run. That's popped up into right field. J.D. Martinez.
Come celebrate our favorite lefty's birthday on Sunday, June 12th at U.S. Cellular Field. We're offering specially priced tickets to all Southpaws friends and fans. To purchase, you can visit whitesox.com/SPBday. Southpaw's birthday. And the wind has started to kick up here at the old ball yard.
And the clouds looking a little more ominous. Or as Wimpy used to say, omnibus.
They got some of those too.
There's Ivy. The 0-1 pitch. He's 3 for 11 lifetime off Verlander.
Just
a tip.
Yeah, a little tip, and he got him. Pretty amazing with Verlander. But this year on his strikeout, 60% have been on a fastball. That one just barely caught the bat, stuck in the glove of McCann. The league average is 40% of strikeouts against right-handers being used with a fastball. So Verlander, who always had a great curve and a much better than average slider, now relying on high fastballs.
Well, he's using his head rather than just his overwhelming stuff.
Yeah, I mean, almost without exception, the high fastballs are up and out of the strike zone. He's not going to give you too much hittable in the zone.
Got the shift on for Rollins, and that didn't take long. That was quick. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It is 1-0 Sox. Leads off the bottom of the second. 37-year-old veteran hitting it. 348. Check that. 349. 9 homers and 34 knocked in.
What's pretty amazing about Victor, now he's always been a good hitter, but he's hitting very close to 500 lifetime against Chris Sale and Jose Quintana. Comes in hitting 433. So against two of the tougher left-handers in all of baseball, Victor has just clobbered them.
That'll be a long way to go. And it's a fair ball. Victor was just trotting out of the box.
If he decides to run, he should be at second base, and he's shaking his head. There was no chance for Avi to get to it. He was playing around in right center field. And you see him just standing there. I'm not sure exactly why. Now he's not the fastest man in the world, but that ball was fair by a pretty good margin. But fortunately, he is at first, and fortunately, the double play is in order.
So here's J.D. Martinez. 4 for 7 in the series. With a big 2-run homer yesterday off Chris Sale. And there's the base hit. Yanks it in the hole. So the first 2 men aboard. Kansas City at Cleveland, bottom of the 2nd inning, 1-0 Indians.
Indians are trying to sweep that 4-game series.
And that's the club that right now that I'm really concerned about. You got to give Kansas City their due and their respect, but when you lose Gordon and you lose Moustakas
and Perez for whatever, maybe 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, that's a lot of thunder out of that lineup.
Cleveland's got that TWTW going for them.
Well, they also have that good pitching going for them. Really good.
That always helps the TWTW.
They get some really good pitching. It's Corey Kluber to the mound today.
Castellanos. That's the club that I'm concerned about right now. Actually, that's the second. Most I'm concerned about is our club. And we understand Perez played last night. 2 for 4 with a double. But in that series, we have an off day tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's the Nasty Nats coming to town with Bryce Harper. And the pitching rotation for us in that series, Tuesday is going to be Matt Latos. Wednesday, James Shields. And on Thursday, Carlos Rodon. Interesting quote about James Shields from Joe Madden in our notes today. That said he's an interesting guy, such a competitor that he never wants to come out of a ball game, and he thinks he can beat anybody anytime.
There you look at the numbers career-wise. 25 over 500. This year the ERA a bit distorted because of the 10 runs he gave up in his last start. It was just over 3 heading into that start. Castellanos very rarely grounds into double plays. The reason is he's got a severe uppercut swing. He's grounded into only 2 this year, and Jose could use one here.
So a very close pitch. Previous pitch didn't get it. And it's a full count.
Wind has pretty much changed directions and is really blowing out heavily towards straightaway left field.
Well, there are some guys who can use the elements, but those are the very, very few. That was the first thing that the great Ted Williams wanted to know every day, which way the wind was blowing before he got to the ballpark.
Just barely able to stay alive. Good breaking pitch, and Castellanos went after it before that ball dipped out of the zone, but he got a piece.
Once again, the payoff. Not a bad crowd on hand for the bad forecast that was out there this morning. Tigers averaging 29,503. Great baseball town, Detroit.
Ninth pitch of the at bat. Pretty good battle going on.
And once again, the payoff. Nice play. Nice play by Saladino, and a good recovery, real quick recovery by Todd.
In the hole and going well away from that throw to second. It's the only play he's got. He makes it, and now the lack of effort on the part of Victor Martinez, not running on what would have been a double, but instead was a single, could loom large in this inning.
So here is Upton. Justin hitting at .214, 3 homers, 12 knocked in. Adam Eaton deep in center. Shaded a little bit over towards Avi and right.
Tigers gave Justin Upton a huge free agent contract, thinking they were getting yet another big right-handed run producer. He had been one of those guys most of his career, but starting off very slowly.
A little unusual too when you've got guys like Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez,
Castellanos, and JT Martinez.
Usually everything is contagious, and you get in a lineup like that, you're probably going to be seeing some pretty good pitches to hit.
You look at the career numbers, and they're pretty good, but this year, not so much. He and his brother Melvin, the two highest drafted brothers in baseball history. Justin, the first overall pick by the Diamondbacks in 2005. And Melvin, the second overall pick in 2002 by the Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, this club's certainly the best right-handed hitting, most dangerous right-handed hitting team we've seen this year.
Well, they have that. That's what's somewhat surprising. I mean, when you have the lineup they have, and of course Victor Martinez being a switch hitter, you would have expected, especially with McCann as their #1 guy behind the plate, Iglesias, their everyday shortstop, Kinsler, their everyday second baseman, all right-handed, that they would have spent a great deal of money on a left-handed run producer if they could have found one.
Here you go.
There was a break. Gladly taken by Quintana. They'll take another look on an Xfinity pitch tracks, and Alex Avila kind of eases it back into the zone. Upton can't believe it, but he's walking away on strikes. That's been a monumental problem for him. That's strikeout number 76 in 197 at bats. Who is right? Believe me. That's monumental. The GM, Alex Avila's father, Al, probably thinking it's monumental also.
Here's a good-looking young player right here, the catcher, James McCann.
He said he made a mechanical adjustment, and that was not using the high leg kick. He said he had a tendency to start his hands before his leg got down, which stopped him from really performing all that well in this series. Without that high leg kick, he's been pretty tough.
Well, the leg kick is great, but the secret to the leg kick is when to get it down.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. It's a great timing. It's a great, what they call overcoming the initial inertia on the guy in the swing.
Well, look at Bautista from Toronto. He does it really well, but for McCann it wasn't working, so you got to make a change.
Oh yeah, but the change he had to make really is it's a timing thing. That when to get it down. This is like Sadaharu, the great Japanese home run king. At first he had trouble with it, and he was really accentuating that big leg kick.
Well, he would pick up the front foot about knee high on the back foot.
But then he learned how to get it down. I'll never forget when they sent an all-star team over there, including Bob Gibson, to pitch against the Japanese team, and Sadaharu was there, and I guess he had a couple home runs on Gibson. And afterwards, Gibson said, well, I knew he had the high leg kick. I just didn't know he could get it down that quick. Two on, two out, 1-2 to count. Nice. Nice block. 2-2.
Well, Jose can work his way out of this. We've seen him work his way out of some unbelievable jams in the past. But first and second, nobody out. Castellanos, who has really plagued him coming up, if he gets out of this inning without giving up a run, even though he's using a whole lot of pitches, it will be a pretty good feat.
Nice pick over to third. Yes. Puts it on him.
He was out twice.
Yeah.
Double play.
So 2 good plays by Saladino. Helps out Quintana.
500, and this is not going to help the Mark Teixeira, who wasn't the same this year, hitting 180, placed on the disabled list with a cartilage tear in his right knee. As you can see, knocking at the door of 400 home runs, a very potent switch hitter when healthy. And the injury report is brought to you by Dr. Anthony Romeo Orthopedics. If you have any shoulder or elbow problems, go to RomeoOrthopedics.com or call 312-432-2342.
Well, you would be hard-pressed to find anybody as good as Dr. Romeo.
Well, hopefully Jake Peavy sent him a very nice Christmas present, maybe some other presents, because he resurrected his career, and Jake is still pitching and still starting.
Yeah, he probably made him over $50 million.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. And the confidence that Dr. Romeo had before the surgery, when he said he's coming back 100% of what he had before the surgery, was right on the button.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
that was really impressive when he said that. It had never been done on a major league athlete.
Pretty unusual injury. Just detaching latissimus dorsi and tearing it completely off the bone on obviously the right side, the pitching side, and a complete reattachment, and Jake was back.
Three and one to count to Alex. Outfield straight up and spread out. Wind still blowing out to left. If you're just tuning in, home run by Jose Abreu. We lead it 1-0, and there is the leadoff walk.
If anybody's going to draw it, it's going to be Alex Avila, who is the most patient of all Sox hitters.
So here's Tyler. 253, 3 homers, 14 knocked in.
Verlander 8 times in his career, and it's been a beautiful career. 8 times, gone over 200 innings, topping out at 251. That's only in the regular season. He also picked up a whole lot of innings in the postseason. So he's been a workhorse his entire career.
He's one of those guys that could have pitched in any time zone.
Yeah,
anytime.
Just a big, hard-throwing, tough guy. You look at those numbers: 161 and 102. ERA of 3.5. 329 starts, but as is the custom in the time he worked in, only 22 complete games total.
That's fair ball. Right down the corner. So Alex is going to move into third on the double by Saladino, and ducks on the pun, nobody out. That leadoff walk usually will get you into trouble.
Tyler Saladino is now getting more consistent play. And if he gets more consistent play, we're going to get some sort of an idea just how much talent he has, because number one, he's a smart player. Number two, very good hands and a strong arm at shortstop. But you can't really figure out offensively what he's going to do unless he's getting 4 and occasionally 5 consistent at bats just about each and every day.
Well, he's making a strong case for it.
He is that.
So here's Adam Eaton. Grounded out. Castellanos. Yeah, he's a mindset pitcher, Verlander, and that's why I say he could have pitched back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s. Because of that mindset, he would have fit right in with that particular mindset at that time. Well, if he had been way back before that, he'd been a guy who would probably go 300 innings for you with no problem.
And no doubt, probably quadrupled his complete games, because he was the kind of guy that the only thing that took him out of games was the manager took him out.
And yet, on the other side of that page, you get guys would have no chance of trying to crawl into that mindset 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
There you look at the last 5 starts. Has been awfully good. 191 ERA. Opponents hitting just 155. But the Sox giving him some problems early in this one.
Well, we hit him pretty good first couple of years, first few years, and the next few years he got even.
That's true. So now trying to make sure that the communication is exactly the way Verlander wants it. A fairly young catcher, you have a veteran pitcher. No doubt that Verlander is going to take command of his own game, as he pretty much always has.
Well, you played with a guy like that. 1-2 the count.
Mr. Palmer?
Yeah.
Well, he used to routinely turn around, look at the fielders, and then just move them around. Whether it was left field, center field, didn't matter. Shortstop, he'd want him a certain way.
We used to get on him.
I know.
From the other bench, the other side of the field for that.
He moved everybody.
Yeah, he did. Meanwhile,
he did a pretty good job of it.
8-time 20-game winner, 3-time Cy Young Award winner. And there he holds them, and that's a big out.
Join us at U.S. Cellular Field as the White Sox take on the Royals on Saturday, June 11th. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox Hawaiian shirt presented by Beggar's Pizza. I love Hawaiian shirts. Visit whitesox.com to purchase your tickets today.
So here's Jason, his first at bat, struck out.
Couldn't think of a better time for the first major league hit or run batted in. Big slow hook that time.
Lay off that one.
As has been his custom, he pitches at 91, 92, then gets in trouble, and suddenly you see 94. That used to be 97, 98. And talking with Rod Allen, a fine analyst from the Tigers for 14 years now, he said he's gotten 97, 98 this year. Another one up and out of the zone, and he could not check it up this time.
Well, you got to lay off that one. When you got the specter of that big hook, you got to lay off the high heat. Big out. 2 down.
These fastballs consistently out of the zone, and another one out of the zone. So we'll see if he takes his chances with Abreu, who's really hurt him. You got Frasier coming up next.
Abreu with that long home run over the center field fence.
So our 4th drive of the game, and it's a high fastball, only this one he doesn't get inside near enough. Into the hedges, 420 some feet away from home plate.
Pitch at 89.
That's his cutter. And that's something that he's come up with to help him as the innings have piled up. He's made it a pretty good pitch for himself.
Well, just for the perception from the hitter's standpoint that he's got it helps Verlander.
Let's stop by McCann as he makes sure that Avila cannot travel the 90 feet and score the second run. Joe McEwing having a conversation with him.
The 1-2. Then on second, third, nobody out, and we leave them right there.
Third inning triple play promotion. Text Subway 3 to 97999 right now, and the 300th texter will win a $30 gift card to Subway restaurants in the Chicagoland area. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Jose Iglesias will lead it off.
And for a guy who was really struggling coming into this, he's had a pretty good series.
3 for 7 with an RBI.
Played some spectacular shortstop. Boston was in the process of raising a lot of very good young shortstops when Iglesias came up through their system. One of the reasons they were able to trade him away. And we're seeing one of the finished products of that. Xander Bogaerts, who is currently there, had his 26-game hitting streak interrupted. Mookie Betts, who's one of their stars, came up a shortstop, but they've since moved him to the outfield.
There's a strike.
Career against Jose Quintana has been very good in a small sample from Iglesias. Iglesias, a countryman of Jose Abreu, both from Cuba.
He gone. One down.
Good sharp breaking curveball, drops it low and in, and Iglesias down on strikes. Second strikeout for Jose.
Ian Kinsler led off with a line drive base hit to center field.
Ian Kinsler, second on the list of runs scored, with the aforementioned Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts sandwiched around him.
High end to left.
Sox fans, join us as our Sox take on the Blue Jays on Saturday, June 25th at 1:10. The first 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox beach towel presented by Shark Week, starting June 26th on Discovery. Purchase your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Maben will bunt on occasion.
Maben, 6-4-3 double play he hit into.
Well, they had Maben once. They drafted him #1 and then let him go. He tried to work his way back to those lofty projections they had when he came in. Now getting another chance back in Detroit. Maben came over from Atlanta in exchange for Ian Kroll and Gabe Spire November of last year.
Well, he had 10 home runs, which is in Atlanta is not many. Atlanta with the second highest elevation outside of Denver in Major League Baseball. That ball just jumps in that ballpark.
There was a time when he could really run. He swiped 40 bases for San Diego in 2011. Actually swiped 23 last year.
Atlanta's been a great hitter's ballpark for a long, long time. Hitter's city, I should say, especially in the old ballpark. Remember Davy Johnson? Davy was a 10-12 a year home run guy. Went down to Atlanta, hit 42 up there.
That was in Fulton County. That was
in the old ballpark.
That was the launching pad. It was unbelievable. I mean, seemingly with that heavy air, you'd think the ball would stay in the park. It rocketed out to all three fields.
Well, it's the second highest elevation.
Yeah. Boy, it was pretty amazing.
We played some exhibition games there, and I mean, none of our guys could believe it.
They had 3 guys that year hit over 40 home runs. Well, they were pretty happy with Maben at first because they drafted him #1. That was good, and then used him along with a handful of other guys including Andrew Miller, who was another #1 draft pick, who we see now in the bullpen with the Yankees. And they got back Miguel Cabrera and Dontrell Willis from the Florida Marlins. That particular deal, and the man you're looking at, turned out pretty well for these Tigers.
That is trouble. That walk, the wrong guy. They're going to wave him around. You don't want to walk Cameron Maybin to get to Miguel Cabrera. And this game is tied at 1.
RBI 34 for Miguel Cabrera as he reaches out, takes it down the line. That was a straight change, and it was right down the middle. So Cabrera, who routinely uses the whole field, drops it in the corner, and then Cameron Maybin is off to the races.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake, needless to say. So here is Victor. He singled his first trip.
It's a big problem with the middle of this order is when you're staring to Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and now Castellanos, who's hitting over 300 with 32 driven in, you can't pitch around anybody.
Well, you certainly can't pitch around Cameron Maybin.
No.
To get to those guys.
No.
Cameron Maybin hitting in front of Cabrera. That's the best spot he can be in his career as far as trying to get some hits. One and two the count. Run on 2 hits, no errors for our guys, and run on 4 hits, no errors for their guys here in the bottom of the 3rd if you're just joining us. Oh, man. Two pitch.
Take a look at the numbers of Victor Martinez since joining the Tigers. In 68 games, only .374, 10 homers, 17 doubles, 44 driven in. He scored 40 of them.
Well, he's been a Sox killer. There's no question.
Overall, .334. Wow. Came up with the Indians. They brought so many exceptional hitters to the major leagues over the years.
Yes, he did.
Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, says to give him another life.
Full count. He stopped it. Got the hands out there, but the head never got parallel. But a walk with 2 out to Cameron Maybin. and a double by Cabrera. We're tied at 1.
Also have ourselves a bright sunny day for the moment.
Yeah, but it'll last for a while, and then we got some more coming in. Actually, the radar now looks a heck of a lot better than it did an hour ago. Breaking ball strike. The Tide.
There you see the home run leaders. Mark Trumbo with 18, then Todd Frasier and Nolan Arenado tied at 17, and the retiring Big Papi.
Don't say that. Don't say
for
that.
pitchers, he can't retire soon enough. What a year he's having.
Look at man. Nice timing leap by Cabrera. Looked like that was going to get in, but no.
Cabrera playing way off the line for Todd Frasier, and at the last instant he just leaps up and makes the play.
I hate to see good players retire.
But when you look at those numbers across the board for David Ortiz, you wonder if somewhere along the line, and he keeps insisting he's going to retire, but boy, it's difficult to conceive of that with what he's done this year.
I should reframe that. I hate to see good players retire when they can still play.
He can really play.
I did not mind seeing some of the greats of this game retire when they did. In fact, I thought they should have retired maybe a year or two earlier. One pitch.
David Ortiz is third in the league at hitting at 342. You talked about the home runs. He's leading the league in runs batted in with 53. Cano has 48. He's got 23 multi-hit games. Bogart's lead with 25. Total bases, David Ortiz at the top. I mean, you look at some of these numbers. Slugging percentage, this is the most amazing. Slugging percentage 737. The guy in second place is Trumbo at 601. On base percentage, leading David Ortiz 427. It's been remarkable.
Buckled him, and he knew it. 2 gone.
He hasn't been using that curveball very much, but now he's changing everything up. That one had the plate. Brett Lawrie realizing he'd just been outguessed. Used to be easy. It used to be pretty much just fastball, curveball, different speeds of the curveball. Now he's got a slider and a cutter to go with that curveball and a couple of different speeds of fastball.
Francisco Lindor has homered. Indians now lead the Royals 5-0.
That was a good matchup for Cleveland. Corey Kluber against Chris Young.
Oh, 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1.
Team pride with White Sox checking and an official White Sox debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
JD Martinez, Nick Castellanos, Justin Upton.
Justin Verlander has 7 strikeouts, experiencing somewhat of a resurgent performance here this afternoon, reminiscent of the Verlander of old.
Here's JD. He yanked a single in the hole between 3rd and short. Once again, a reminder, off day tomorrow. And then Nasty Nats coming to town. So make your plans to be with us at US Cellular Field.
It'll be a nice, long, but difficult homestand.
Washington for 3, Kansas City for 3, and Detroit for 3.
Then it's off to a tough road trip. Cleveland and Boston.
Well, with all the parity, there are not many patsies out there. broken bat. Popped him up. And that is out number 1.
Visit participating Chicagoland Great Clips salons by June 10th for the Great Clips Summer Sweepstakes. The grand prize winner throws out the first pitch at Mullet Night on Friday, June 24th, plus White Sox tickets and a pregame patio party. So Great Clips, it's going to be great. Purchase your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Castellanos. That'll be Bryce Harper and Ryan Zimmerman, and the Nasty Nats coming to town. Now, pitching rotation for us will be next Tuesday, Matt Latos. On Wednesday, James Shields. And on Thursday, Carlos Rodon as that's into right field. Two down. We'll have a chance to see James Shields on Wednesday.
Pretty good pitching matchup. That's going to be Shields against Max Scherzer, with Joe Ross pitching Tuesday night, and Gio Gonzalez going on Thursday night.
Upton called out on a fastball strike. Pitch that he did not think was a strike.
With the wind picking up and blowing straight out toward left center field, outfield very deep.
There's a bullet.
So with 2 outs, nobody on, Jose bidding for his first 1-2-3 inning, but he throws a low inside fastball and Upton drills it into left field. He's always been a very streaky hitter, although he has yet to put together a hot streak this year. Tigers waiting patiently for that after a sizable investment.
So here's McCann. With a couple of guys on and 2 out. Hit a ball in the hole that Tyler Saladino went over, got it, and made the toss to Frasier at third.
Upton 1 for 1 in stolen bases, but he doesn't run often, and either do these Tigers. 18 stolen bags this year in 28 attempts.
Drops the hook on him. 1-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it.
Tried to throw that by him inside. Probably wanted it a little higher than he got it. And McCann was able to stay alive.
Two and two.
Hitters this year hitting just 127 against Jose on a 2-strike count. That's 50 points below league average. So in that respect, he's handcuffed the opposition.
Nice gap in left center. Ivy, long way to go. And he gets there and makes a nice catch before hitting the fence. So a good play, good jump, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 5th, tied at 1.
Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank.
Lower third of our order, Rollins, Avila, and Saladino. Just sitting here watching this and then watching the game last night. It's just amazing how much I miss Melky.
Well, certainly from the left side, Melky is the one guy that you know will drive in some runs. You got Adam, who's a table setter. Jimmy has struggled from the left side. Alex has driven in a pair of runs this year. And losing Melky is very difficult to overcome. We will see him Tuesday night in Chicago.
One and two. If you're just joining us, we scored in the first inning, home run by Abreu right over that center field fence. And of course, with that home run, Alex Nellius, a generous donation to White Sox charities. Then they tied it with a run. 2-out walk to Cameron Maybin.
There's a fan on the phone and a souvenir, and managed to make sure that his drink didn't go anywhere.
And then after that walk to Maben, a double by Cabrera tied it up. And that's fouled back.
Verlander trying to throw high fastballs by Jimmy. Almost the entire at bat has been spent upstairs.
And that's softly hit. Oh, Kansas City special. Here he goes. And he's going to get there. A leadoff double. That's his 8th two-bagger.
Instead of a high fastball, Verlander went down in the zone with what appeared to be a cutter. And it was a cutter. He just got too much of the plate. And Rollins takes it into right field. So a promising start for the 5th inning. Now Alex has got to pull the ball, which is normally what he does anyway.
Well, he knows that. But can he do it? Long look in.
Pretty interesting. Alex Avila caught Justin Verlander for a long time.
Want to know the count.
Those years with the Tigers, hit .242. Drove in 282 in 683 games. And when he was swinging his best in those days, he would drive the ball to left center field.
Fouls it away, souvenir left side. Bottom of the 6th in Cleveland. It is 5-0 Indians over Kansas City.
Well, it's a good thing that Verlander did not throw as soon as he used that inside move to second base. He had Rollins leaning toward third.
Two and one. Three and one. Saladino on deck. Now field straight up. That ball hit into right center field. Rollins is tagging. And he's going to go. And here's the throw. No chance. So Alex gets the job done.
As part of Sox Serve Week, the White Sox wives and White Sox Volunteer Corps are celebrating Southpaw's birthday. Bring a new unwrapped toy on Sunday, June 12th. Drop off at any locations at U.S. Cellular Field. Also, $10 cash donations will be accepted.
Infield in now as Saladino stands in. He doubled. He ripped one down into the left field corner. That was after Avila had walked to lead off the third. We had men on second, third, nobody out, and could not do anything with it. Finale of this 3-game set. Finale of this, what started out to be an 11-day, 10-game road trip. But we got rained out the first game in Kansas City, so this is the 9th and final game. Good checkup right there.
With the infield in and the outfield playing a step toward right center field, there's no great arms in the outfield, so on anything of medium depth, very good chance that Jimmy Rollins is going to score the go-ahead run.
Look at the play by Iglesias. That is a hang whiffle for Saladino.
That's an outstanding effort, especially when you consider you're in, because there's absolutely no angle when you're in close at short. This is a fastball away. Tyler able to hit a one-hop rocket, and Iglesias, as quick as you want to be to either side, made that play and saved the go-ahead run.
These guys, these shortstops today are just absolutely exciting to watch. What great talent there is in the American League with young shortstops. He kills it, and now the throw, and they just do get him. That's a good play by McCann. Tough play, and he made it. And two great plays right there to bail Verlander out.
Show you why this game is still tied. The infield in, great play by Iglesias, going to his right, getting it across in time, and then Adam Eaton on a bunt, and this ball backs up. If it doesn't back up, there's a very good chance he beats the play at first. He doesn't. Good play by McCann, And it's out of the inning, but not before a couple of great defenses. So the speed replay is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
First rule of baseball, you got to catch the ball, and boy, they made 2 terrific plays right there. Glacier struck out his first trip. Rips that one down past Dave Clark, coach at third. Omar Vizquel, the coach at first.
There's a look at Dave Clark. And Omar Vizquel.
Big gap in left center. He gone. Fourth strikeout for Quintana.
That ball had part of the plate, well received by Alex Avila as he just nudges the glove over, although that one had a part of the plate. That's the second time he's gotten a cold third on the inside part of the plate.
Well, I wish we could say this series we've had bad umpiring, but we can't.
Well, umpire's been good.
In fact, they've been good, really, with the exception of the Kansas City series. And in one of those games, 1.5 of those games, we've had excellent umpiring this whole trip. John Tumpain started the first game of this series, missed the first pitch of the ball game on Adam Eaton, and then didn't miss one for a long time after that. Had a good game. Then last night, one of the best umpires in the game, Alan Porter. Boy, he is really one of the best. He's probably in the top 3 or 4 umpires in baseball. One and two. There is a definite Kansas City special right there.
Well, Brett Laurie thought he had a shot with his glove, but when he realized that that ball was actually drifting to his right, he made the attempt with his bare hand and couldn't come up with it. As you can see, he thought he had a glove side shot. As it turned out, he didn't. And Kinsler with his second hit is aboard. He does leave it all on the field.
I love to watch Brett Laurie play. Laurie is some kind of fun to watch. There's a strike to Maben. Maben, back in the third inning, drew a 2-out walk and scored on the double by Cabrera.
Take another look, and that one is just below the zone.
Of course, when you look at Todd Frasier play third, you're looking at some highlight reels over there. Look at this. You're talking about 2 duck snorts. Maben now has 5 hits in this series, and every one of them you could have caught with a pair of tweezers. Man,
this one is way
some
in.
deal money, Cameron.
Way in off the plate. It's right off the hands, the inside-out swing, and dumps a 2-base hit. So some problems with the big man up, and now the question is, do you pitch to Cabrera with first base open? And
what hurts?
Cooper will make it. Well,
Your what hurts?
Wait a second.
I know, Victor's on deck. I don't care what they do. If they're going to pitch to him, but don't let him try to get himself out.
Don't intentionally try to throw high fastballs up out of the zone. Maybe you miss with one. That's not a good idea.
No, that usually does not work.
Well, early in this one, he got out of the first and second nobody out jam. But coming up was Castellanos, Upton, and McCann. This time it's the big boys, but he does have an out. And
you better believe it.
No,
man, that wasn't
no
even
drama.
That wasn't even a thought. You just don't let Miguel Cabrera beat you.
Well, but now you got the original good man for 2 up in Victor, who's very good.
Well, Victor's great. I mean, he's terrific. That's why this is a great offensive team, is because Cabrera's got some protection like Victor and JD. And once you if you get done with Victor, now you got to deal with JD. But you can't let that man right there beat you. It's like you can't let certain guys on the club. Right now, you can't let Hosmer beat you in Kansas City. Boy, Hosmer's not in his category.
No, there's not many that are.
That's right. Nobody in this league is.
So now you got Victor Martinez is grounded into 5 double plays.
Well, even if he has a grand slam home run, he made the right call. That's the way you look at it.
Well, he's got 4 of them. And a .343 batting average with the bases loaded. But Robin certainly made the right call. It's a question of, can he get out of the inning?
Baseball 1. Cabrera almost hit one out of here in left center field. Then he doubled in a run.
Well, the base is loaded. With 1 out, the Tigers have only delivered at least 1 run 43% of the time, which is well below league average and somewhat surprising.
Very surprising. The call is only good if the time is made. Now, can you execute is the next question. Pops him up. Jose stays with it. Makes the catch. 2 down. But a call is only as good, as good or bad as the time is made.
One thing that Jose might want to think about in a situation like this is get behind the catcher, because there's not much that you're going to be able to do here. And this throw, Jose got in a hurry, and there was nobody backing up Avila.
You can't ease up now. JD is singled sharply and popped up. Boy, he had a good rip at that one. He was all over it on the inside corner. Thank goodness he got it in deep enough.
That ball had the corner. Alex wanted it outside, but it was high enough and in enough.
Oh, and 2 the count.
Maybe we can expand that zone one more time, because that one was way outside, or outside enough.
And that was almost back to the screen.
Well, he went to the face-high fastball, but unfortunately it was, well, it wasn't even face-high to Shaquille O'Neal. That was way up there.
Well, as proficient as we have seen Quintana the last couple of years learn how to pitch up, I can't recall seeing him airmail one back to the screen.
A lot of pitches so far, 97 on the way.
Take him right here. You don't want to go full. All right, who's got the sense of control? Does Quintana have it, or does JD have it? Whoever has it has the least amount of pressure of the two. And the payoff. It's a 2-1 Tiger lead.
Getting that far ahead and walking him is something that Jose Quintana very rarely does.
Well, he's made 2 actually what I think are mental mistakes for him. With 2 out, walking Cameron Maybin.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Cabrera knocks him in. And then getting ahead of JD right here and walking him. Those are 2, to me, mental mistakes. Castellanos, look at the stop right there by Saladino, saves 1 run, but another one's going to cross the plate. Beautiful play by Tyler Saladino.
RBI 33. If he's able to come up with it cleanly, there's a chance to get out of the inning, but it's a spectacular stop. And as the ball trickles away, 1 run.
And how did it all start? 2 duck snorts. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. Boy, when you're going bad, that's what happens. 2 flares. Not hit hard enough to blacken your eye if you stuck your face into them. Oh, man. Upton. Has struck out and then ripped a single into left field.
Miguel Gonzalez Moved into the bullpen with the acquisition of James Shields, loosening in the pen.
That's going to strengthen that pen. Three and 0. Very, very, very uncharacteristic of Quintana, but in sync with the way the team's going. That's going to clear the. Now they're going to hold him at third, but the double on the 3-0 pitch, Quintana has just worked himself outside of those two little duck farts to lead off this inning. And here comes Robin.
And that is going to be it for Jose Quintana. This was right down the middle, and a 3-0 offense, when you give it to the right guy, is a beautiful thing. Not if you're the opposition, but Jose will walk out. We'll step out and be back after these messages. The first time he'll work out of the bullpen this year. He had 6 previous starts. And there you look at the numbers. ERA 4.09. He had pretty good control in his starts, with opponents hitting .283, which is a lot of hits for 9 innings. And he inherits a couple of Tigers at second and third. The double by Upton. Castellanos at third. And 4 in here in the 5th.
So here's McCann.
That went off his foot, and McCann not feeling too good right now as he's taking the long stroll around. Got a shin guard on that left foot, but it didn't help him there.
Well, things were looking pretty good after getting Victor to pop up to Abreu. Then he gets ahead of JD and walks him with the bases loaded. 2 out, 2 on. And 1 and 2.
It's a good straight change. Had him swinging over the top.
You know, the only way our guys can look at this thing is we're going to have to score anyway. Now we just got to score more. One-two pitch. That's some bad luck, some bad pitching. They score 4 and they lead at 5-1. (5-1). Detroit lead. Top of the 6th inning. It'll be Coates, Abreu, and Frasier.
The line for Jose Quintana. 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 was intentional, 4 strikeouts.
Not a real good outing for Jose. 4 2/3 innings, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 walks, 1 intentional, and 4 strikeouts. Used 103 pitches.
Coates, high fly ball into center field.
Sox fans, join us as our Sox take on the Twins on Thursday, June 30th at 1:10. First 10,000 fans will receive a free Adam Eaton t-shirt presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. Purchase your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Here's Abreu, 1 for 2, a home run. His 7th, right over the center field fence with 2 out in the 1st inning. That was our 50th home run of the season. Tigers have 70. We have one man with RBIs in the 30. Frasier with 39.
And they have a few.
They have 5.
They have
5
few,
with 30 or more. Two down.
Verlander's been terrific today. 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. Now he's retired the first 2, and with not an overwhelming lead, but a fairly comfortable lead to this point. He'll be trying to get him to swing early in the count by using thirds of the plate, and as you can see, a minimum of pitches. With 7 strikeouts, you would expect more than 79 pitches.
Well, it looks like he's made the conversion mentally.
I mean, well,
being the dominant alpha male, so to speak, to being a pitcher.
Well, the last 6 starts especially, he's had a resurgence. He started off, was a very tough beginning for him. Last 6 times out, he's been very good.
I'm talking about in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Cunning and guile. He hadn't had to use too much of that in his whole life.
No.
Not just his career here. I'm talking about coming up in high school, college, and wherever. He's been the man.
Well, you take a look at those numbers. 5 2/3, just the 3 hits, the 1 walk, the home run, the only run scored. When you're the 2nd pick in the draft, Tigers had the 2nd pick in the 1st round in 2004. And they were looking at 6'5", 220-some-pound right-handed fireballer. And he's still around these many years later. They made themselves just a great pick.
Well, this trip started off in psyche-wise. This trip started off in tragic fashion in Kansas City with those 3 losses. And then things have just not gotten any better.
Now, when you've got the lead fairly late, one time very late, you get those kind of leads only to see them slip away.
When you get a 6-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th and you get beat 8-7 in regulation time,
yeah.
That's a tough beat there.
Well, the man on the mound today started in 2005. He made 13 starts at Lakeland. He made 7 starts at Erie. And outside of a rehab last year, he's never been back. So he had 20 starts in the minor leagues before making it to the major leagues.
Yep. That's why having a short memory in baseball or in all sports is just paramount. That's why days like those, that's why the big guy upstairs made tomorrows. You got to let it go, and evidently our club just had a tough time of letting it go. I mean, consciously they have, but subconsciously it seems to have stuck. They go to New York, get beat 1-0 in that game. That first one.
That was a resurgence by Matt Harvey after really struggling.
Well, yeah, we helped him out a lot, as you know. That ball hit high, deep, way back. He looks up, and you can put it on the board. Yes, number 18. And it's a 5-2 ball game.
18 and 40 on the power numbers, and that was a bomb.
Tell you one thing, there was one guy in our club that has let that Kansas City series go. It's Todd Frasier.
He got a high fastball, very similar to the one hit out of the ballpark by Abreu. This at 96, the fastest fastball that Verlander's thrown, but the spot wasn't good. But the spot was looking pretty good here.
Drops a hook on him. All right, let's see if that'll change our attitude a little bit.
4 hits, all 4 for extra bases.
And of course another generous donation by Alex Nellius to White Sox Charities in loving memory of Ursula. Big gap in left center. And that'll retire the side, but we get 1 run closer. We now trail at 5-2. Jose Iglesias leads it off to the Tigers here in their half of the 6th inning. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for their guys. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for our guys.
Alex couldn't locate it. Finally does.
Already seen a lot of Sox number 21 jerseys. Of course, with Frasier on the back. And why not?
That one looked like it was rifled into the Tiger dugout. Not an easy thing to do for a right-hand hitter.
So the leadoff single.
Join the WhiteSox.com blacklist and enter for a chance to win 16 great prizes in 16 weeks, along with monthly prizes, including game tickets, as well as amazing grand prize at the end of the season. Visit WhiteSox.com/Sox16 for complete details.
Kinsler started off that 4-run fifth with a very, very one-out soft single. Javi can't get there.
Well, he made a big effort as the wind blowing very briskly toward left center field is bringing everything back toward the field of play if it's hit down the right field line. So Javi hustling all the way, comes up just a bit short.
And he's still nursing a sore hamstring. And he's still busting it down the line and giving it everything he's got.
Got to do it. I've never seen him. I've never seen him do anything but hustle.
Me either.
Dan Jennings loosening up at the bullpen.
Come on, let's hold them right here. We still got time in this game. Good lead. And the count 0-2. Just a little bigger lead now by Iglesias. There he goes. Not a good throw.
Still in base number 4. He's 4 out of 5 now. Got a tremendous jump. And even with an excellent throw, it was going to be difficult to get him. And this throw was not excellent.
So 1-2 the count. And Kinsler still, he's a smart player. Given the opportunity or the chance, is still going to try to. But there you get him way out in front. Couldn't do anything with it with 2 strikes. And that's out number 1. Throw something real slow in that situation, man on second, nobody out. And even with 2 strikes, you get a smart player like Kinsler up there. The best pitch, you can throw something really slow. So he gets out there so far he can't maneuver the bat.
That time, no chance at all, as he was just trying to stay alive. He made his contact, but
conversely, the worst pitch you could throw is a fastball for a strike.
A lot of guys will tell you the inside fastball, when you try to hit it the other way, is as easy to hit as anything there is.
Well, those guys with those good inside out strokes, doesn't make any difference what you do. They can work it. Maben into a double play, walked and scored, and then had that little duck snort double right inside the line, down right field way. That's some 5 hits in this series, and all have been very, very soft. Two and one. Three and one.
This one just barely misses, but misses by enough.
Pops him up right side. Glaciers tagging. There he goes to third. Here's the throw. So that stolen base has put him in pretty good shape.
Now Alex looking over in the dugout to see if, like the last time, they want to put Cabrera on.
Inside outs that one. Fouls it back.
Over the course of his career, a robust .321. 420 homers. In a career that will undoubtedly put him into Cooperstown. And when he does choose to retire, he's going to make a lot of pitchers very happy.
Boy, he stays inside of it when he's just trying to get a man in. That's where he's such a big producer. Oh, and 2.
A couple of young fans watching a state-of-the-art hitter, but right now a little more interested in that cotton candy.
He gone, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. We need 3 to tie.
with Robin by logging on to WGNTV.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner for the latest stats and information. Sox Game Zone is powered by Dodd Camera, family owned for 125 years, handling all your photographic needs. Dodd Camera, where the focus is on you.
All right, we need some base runners, boys. 7th inning. It'll be Garcia, Rollins, Avila. 5-2 Tigers. One. That one at 94. That ball hit hard. Stay in the air. Stay in the air. It won't. One out.
Upton comes across, makes a pretty good play. Ball was hit hard.
Too hard.
Not quite far enough.
Here's Rollins. He is 1 for 2, a double.
Both runs scored via the home run. Excellent chance in the 3rd inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Eaton Coates Abreu left him there. Rollins led off with a double in the 5th. No movement after that.
Nope. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up left side.
Castellanos did a nice job of staying with that, as that one, because of the wind, drifted back into fair territory.
So 2 out. And here's Avila. Alex has walked and going out to right. Once again, a reminder, off day tomorrow. Then we are starting a nice homestand. On Tuesday, Matt Latos against the Nats. On Wednesday, James Shields making his first start in the Sox uniform. And on Thursday, Carlos Rodon. There's a shot into center field for a base hit. So the 2-out single. And here's Tyler Saladino. Has doubled a bullet down into the left field corner, and then Iglesias with Rollins at 3rd and 1 out. He hit a rocket that Iglesias just made a sensational catch on. Touch him up right here, Tyler. Put him on the board. Fastball at 94.
Nate Jones starting to throw in the pen.
Jose Fernandez 9-2 shuts out the Mets 1-0. Matt Harvey pitched well again. Got a roller right there.
Shane Green, who was recently activated after a blister problem, warming up in the pen, and Brad Ausmus believes that he's going to be one of the answers to their setup man problem.
All right, 7th inning stretch. We trail it by 3.
Today's Major League scoreboard and the schedule. Some rain in Cleveland. Probably some that hit here last night. And there you see the rest of it. Washington killing Cincinnati as Washington starting to heat it up offensively, and they're going to be the first opponent of the Sox starting Tuesday night. Rest of the games later on. As the Tigers will take their chance to hit, leading 5-2, and Dan Jennings comes in the ball game. Jennings out for the 19th time. He's 2-1. His ERA 2.35. Opponent's hitting an even 2.50. And he's got to hold him right there, right through the middle part of the order for the Tigers.
Here's Victor. He is 1 for 3.
Nice job, first time out of the pen for Miguel Gonzalez. 1 1/3, 1 hit, 1 strikeout.
Well, he gives us that first man out aspect, and today that's bigger and more prominent, and has a bigger, more prominent role than it's ever had.
Well, he held him right there. He inherited 5 runs on the board for the Tigers and didn't put up any more.
Leadoff single, and that'll bring up JD.
Victor can just flat out hit. Taking it through the right side, his second hit of the day. His biggest at bat with the bases loaded in the 5th. He popped up.
JD 1 for 2 with a big bases loaded walk after being down in the count 0-2. That was one of the big at bats in that 4-run 5th. 2 outs. Take your time, that boy. Can't get him, but he got the lead man. That is most important.
Into 7 innings in Boston, and Marco Estrada from the Toronto Blue Jays, well, now has just given up his first hit, and a no-hitter through 7, leading 5-1 as Boston broke it up.
Here is Castellanos.
Chris Young from the Red Sox hit a home run to rain on the parade of Marco Estrada.
Marco is not going to overpower you.
No, he's got a good changeup, very good changeup.
I'll tell you. You ask probably 90%. Maybe a little higher than that of the hitters in the major leagues. Which is a tougher pitch, a great fastball or a great changeup? There's 90% will tell you it's a changeup. Great changeup.
Well, the one thing for sure is if you can't hit a fastball, you're going to be selling cars or another another avocation.
If you can't cover the fastball,
no, you got a problem.
Okay, well let's go the other way on it. If you can cover the fastball, you can play in the big leagues.
Yeah, because pitchers will make enough mistakes with the off-speed pitches to eventually they've got to throw you a fastball.
You go to the plate, say 500 times, which is around normal today. Some guys in the past would go 700 times, 650, but say 500 times. You won't go to that plate in those 500 at bats. As he gets him 2 down, you won't go to the plate 10 times in those 500 at bats that the guy's going to make 3 perfect pitches on.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too much, and that's what looks like a perfect pitch down out of the zone, tantalizing, and a strikeout.
And sometimes you might go 500 at bats and only have it happen maybe once or twice. So here's Upton. 2 for 3, hard single, hard double, knocking in a pair. That coming back in that 4-run 5th, and that was on a 3-0 count with the bases loaded. So kudos to Brad Ausmus. Try to build some confidence in your hitters. That ball lined into right at him, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 8th. It's 5-2 Detroit.
It's been all Tigers so far. They've out-hit our Sox 11-5. It's been an errorless game. The Tigers had a big 5th inning, highlighted by the Upton 2-run double. Verlander threw the ball very well, but gave up solo home runs to Abreu and Frasier. And that's where we stand. That's brought to you by Honda. Start something special. A great deal on a Honda now at your Honda dealer. So Andrew Romine comes in the game defensively at third, and we've got a new pitcher as the day is done for Justin Verlander, and it is Shane Green. Now the numbers don't look particularly good. He was suffering from a blister problem. Opponent's batting average at .204 is exceptional, and we saw him in this series, and he threw it very well in relief of Pelfrey. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts.
First pitch strike to Adam Eaton. Had him 0 for 3. And was robbed of a base hit on a beautiful play by James McCann on an attempted bunt with Rollins at third base and 2 out. And a very impressive performance by Verlander from the standpoint of pitching. No longer the 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. But he certainly throws hard enough to be very effective with that slider and that cutter and changing speeds on that curveball. Good pick over there by Cabrera.
Follow White Sox baseball live with the MLB.com at Bet app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bet, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet. So Verlander went 7, gave up a couple of runs and 2 solo homers on 5 hits with just 1 walk and 8 strikeouts.
Well, I hit against Nolan Ryan, and when he was a youngster, I was too actually. But and then hitting against Nolan at that time wasn't a lot of fun, but you didn't mind it because he was a one-pitch pitcher. Albeit that one pitch was, 100, 101, 102 most of the time, all the way through. But it was interesting. The reason I'm bringing this up is interesting for me after I retired and then went into broadcasting. Watch him the rest of his career evolve and morph into a pitcher.
He still had a big fastball, but he got the curveball over the plate.
Exactly right. And in essence, when I hit against him, he really was meat. Because you get it down, throw strikes, and then that's the only pitch he could get over. He became really good after he started to get that curveball over and morphed into the pitcher. Two down.
Jason Coates having a tough afternoon after a big collision yesterday. Still looking for his first major league hit. That's a hard slider by Shane Green. And he could be certainly one of the keys to late innings for these Tigers, because his stuff can be overwhelming.
Well, when we saw him with the Yankees, that was the thing that really impressed me, was that slider. It was, and I talked to him about that briefly, and he said he loves to throw it.
Well, if he gets it near the plate, if he gets ahead of you and gets it near the plate, you're not going to hit it.
No. Jose is 1 for 3. Hit his 7th homer in the first inning off Verlander, right over that center field fence. And he has faced Green 7 times, 3 hits, 2 of which stayed in the park. Shane Green out of Claremont, Florida. 27-year-old right-hander. Claremont, just right up the Florida Turnpike from Orlando. Shoves that one into the seats right side. Two out, 1-2 the count. After the game, Sox board the Charter hit on home. It seems to be a long time since we've been there.
This was an excruciatingly long trip.
Well, this has been a road trip from hell.
When you don't win very much, it becomes even longer. And then coming off that last homestand at 3-7, you expected maybe some good things to happen on the road. And then you got the lead in all 3 in Kansas City. It became even tougher.
And what started that thing off was getting rained out the first game. Then it really makes the trip seem a lot longer. And as you mentioned, that Kansas City series, I've never seen a series like that, and hopefully never will again when we're on the receiving end of it. in a negative fashion. That's foul. Yep, that was not good. High pop up, playable. And that'll retire the side. We have completed 7.5 and we trail at 5-2.
TV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 38 years. To join the nation, visit jeffvuk.com because Nationwide is on your side.
Hold them right there, boys. See what we can do in the ninth. Here's McCann.
Francisco Rodriguez throwing in the pen. And he is their closer. 16 saves in 17 opportunities.
And that's up the middle. He picks up his first hit, 1 for 4.
There's a look at Frankie Rodriguez, who has reinvented himself once again. Now he's got a terrific straight change, throws a slower curveball than he used to, and he's throwing in case it's a save situation, and Wilson is throwing if the lead swells a bit.
So Iglesias now 1 for 3 with that base hit, a stolen base, and now the sacrifice.
Iglesias didn't have a sacrifice coming into this series, now has 2 of them.
Kinsler, 2 for 4. Take strike 1.
There's a look at Zach Duke as he loosens up.
I'm just looking over the scorecards here from the Kansas City series. You missed that first game of that series. We had a 5-1 lead going to the bottom of the 6th inning. They scored 1 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th to win it 7-5. Game 2, we had a 7-1 lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning. They scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th to win it 8-7. That's high and wide. And in the final game of that series, we were leading 4-2 going into the 8th inning. They scored 3 in the 8th to win that thing 5-4. But hopefully the acquisition of James Shields and this getting this road trip over, getting back home. Shields will be pitching Wednesday against the Nats. It'll be Latos, Shields, and Rodon. So that Wednesday matchup, Shields against Scherzer. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Two down.
Little high heat, and Kinsler goes down on strikes.
So here's a man who's had an amazing series. 1 for 3 today. 5 for 12 in the series. And hadn't hit a ball hard yet. For us in the top of the 9th, Frasier, Laurie, Garcia, Rollins, Avila, Saladino, hopefully a couple more.
One of those days for the Tigers when things go pretty well for you. Everybody in the starting lineup has at least one hit.
And if you're just tuning in, Quintana's worst start of the season.
Well, we've seen what the walk to Maben with Cabrera coming up next can do. Let's see if Dan can make a good pitch here to Maben.
And that'll bring up Cabrera. Quintana's ERA, he came in leading the league in ERA at 2.13. It is now 2.58. So Cabrera 1 for 3 with an RBI double, and he has scored a run. He now has 34 RBIs. Drops the hook on him. 0-1. He did not go. Now field slightly to the right, big gap in left center. Well, we talked about last inning how much we miss Melky. Another guy we really missed, Austin Jackson. He was really swinging the bat well. And controlling that outfield.
Tried to get him with a good hard slider down and in, but Cabrera decided he was going to check it up. There's Victor. He's got a couple of hits today.
Two on, two out, the 2-2 pitch. Into the ninth we go. We trail it 5-2.
Coming on for the 23rd time. His ERA a touch above 3.5, but 16 for 17 in save opportunities. Opponent's hitting just .230, and he does it now with some off-speed curveballs, some very good straight changes. He used to do it with a big fastball and a huge late breaking curve, but again making a few concessions to the aging process.
First few years he had Nintendo stuff.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. But he's hung around because he's been able to adapt. Our Mazda replay. In the 6th inning, Todd Frasier got a high fastball and rode it out of the ballpark. His 18th, giving him 40 driven in.
So here's Todd. Todd's the only guy on our ball club that could hit that fastball that high off Verlander out of here. He's had a tough time against Frankie with all that motion and those arms, legs, and back. 0 for 8, which is understandable. A lot of guys 0 for 8 off him.
Yeah, you have a tendency to swing into motion, especially these days.
Good call by Nauer. Nauer's had a good game behind the plate today. Well umpired series, even though we lost the first 2 and trail here in the finale.
That was caught very well by McCann as that ball just off the corner. He made it look like it was in the zone. And I think because of that last pitch, he bought that one for Rodriguez.
That's possible.
Yeah. Todd Frasier not happy with that call. You see, it's further out than the 3rd pitch. But as he caught it, just like he did the pitch before, I think he stole one.
One out.
(2008) 62 saves with the Angels. A .224 ERA and 76 appearances for Francisco Rodriguez. 62 of them.
Well, I mentioned last night that some of the guys that I talked to, quote, quote, experts, which there are none in this game, said this guy's going to blow it out in 2 or 3 years, or if not sooner.
Yeah, that was 402 saves later.
Yeah.
He's held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially making the kind of appearances he made. 2 years ago, 69 appearances with Milwaukee. Last year, 60. 44 and 38 saves respectively. Pretty impressive.
2 hopper, long peg, 2 out. So here's Avi. Avi 0 for 3 last time up, leading off the 7th. Hit a bullet out there that just hit it too hard. Get a little dive at the end, and actually Justin Upton made a good catch running to his right. 29,086 now, most of them coming to their feet. The only break we got today was from the weather. Outside of that, nada. And this ball game is over. So we get swept for the first time here at Comerica Park since 2013, and we'll be back.